Hello, everybody. Welcome back to The John Show, the show where I talk about the mindsets that help you lead to emotional and physical health and wealth. Today, we're talking about, does money make you more confident? We've all wondered this before. Would I be able to stand up to that person if I had more money? Would I not have to worry about paying bills if I had more money? Etc., etc. We've all wondered about these things. Well, today, this is one of the things that we're talking about is, can money actually make you more confident, or is there something, more deeper to it than that? Is there something hiding behind the surface? First off, one is, what even is confidence? Confidence is a belief in one's own ability. So whether or not you're confident behind driving, behind the wheel of a car, for example, is, have you done it? Do you believe that you can do it? Some teenagers who have never driven a car before are really confident, even though they've never done it before, because they just believe they can do it. But some who haven't don't believe, and thus they're not confident. A lot of times our confidence comes from experience. The more you do something, the more proof you have that you can actually do it, if you're getting desirable results, that is, and thus you're more confident. And so when it comes to making money, does making money make you more confident, or is it just, the result of being more confident, or is being, which comes first is what we're trying to ask here. Do you need to have confidence in order to make money, or do you need to have money in order to be confident? Well, let's talk about it a bit. Let's say, for example, I'm applying for a job and I really, really want to get it. And do I believe that I'm going to get it? I say it's my first job. So what are some of the things that could make me do better in the interview? I have a lot of experience in door-to-door sales, and I could tell you straight off the bat that being confident when you're talking to other people increases your chances of them hiring you or buying your product or agreeing with you or just vibing with you in general. When you present confidence, you're presenting yourself in a light that makes you more desirable to work with or to have a transaction with or just to be friends with. And so I would say that being confident going into an interview will greater increase your chance of nailing that interview and, actually getting the job, which means that, money doesn't necessarily come first. It's confidence that comes first. It takes confidence to step out of your comfort zone and just to go to college for something that you haven't studied before, to apply for a job that you're not sure you'll get. It takes confidence to do all of these things. And all of these things typically happen before you make money, before you even make a lot of money. And so I think it's very clear that we can see that money doesn't necessarily come before confidence, but that doesn't mean that it can't increase your confidence. I think a lot of times when you get more money and there's a certain threshold in which when you don't have to worry about paying your bills, you don't have to worry about paying groceries, and you feel relatively secure, you're more confident to go out and do different things. For example, you might not feel confident to start your first business if you feel that it's going to break the bank and make you go bankrupt and you're going to be homeless. You might not have a lot of confidence to do that. But if you have more money in the bank and you have some financial wiggle room and you can afford to maybe have the business fail without losing your home or your livelihood, then you'd be more confident to just leap and jump and take that business and try to see what happens and hopefully succeed and make more money. And if you do succeed, you will make money, and then you will have proof of concept. The money is the result that you're looking for. It's the positive result of your actions. When you're taking particular actions and you get a positive result, you are then more confident in the actions that you're taking, and you're able to see into the future and say, hey, these actions will give me X result, therefore I'm going to do them, and I'm confident that they will get me a good result. Money is the good result of well thought out, well executed actions over a period of time. And thus, when your money is kind of like the proof in the pudding, so to speak, it's the evidence that you're actually doing well and the actions that you're taking are actually working. Therefore, it can increase your confidence. You can be even more confident that what you're doing is actually going to work. But money doesn't necessarily come first. Usually it takes a first little spark of confidence to step out and do the hard thing. Apply for the interview, apply for the grant, start the YouTube channel, start the business, fund the capital, find the capital, approach investors, etc., etc. It usually takes a little bit of confidence to do those things, even though you don't necessarily have the money backing you up all the time. But once you get the money, that's proof of concept and proof that you're doing the right thing, and then you'll be more confident to continue doing it and continue making more money. So it's kind of like a self-perpetuating circle, but it usually doesn't start with money. It starts with the confidence that you just kind of find within yourself. And so how do you find confidence within yourself? I've been struggling with this a lot, really, and I've been trying to think about it more and more and try to have a much more clear mindset on how to do that, because, I've done some things that I thought were very difficult, and so I've always tried to think back, what was it that made me think I could do it? What sort of mindset did I have that put me in a position to succeed? And I think the main thing is that I'm not afraid to get undesirable results. I'm not afraid to get results that will not increase confidence. Or maybe they will in a different way. So, for example, I applied for gliding school when I was in Air Cadets. And I was trying to get a pilot's license, essentially. And that's incredibly difficult. A lot of hours of study, a lot of work. And the first time I failed. And obviously, that was not the desired result, but my mentality about it said, well, I can just try again, as opposed to, oh, I failed, I'm no good, I can never do it again. I was confident that I learned from my mistake and that I could try again, do better, and adapt and be successful. And eventually I was. It took me 2 tries. And then it worked. But it was still a long road. And it's all about how you approach failure. If I was afraid of failure, if I was afraid that if I felt that failure was a negative, light on me, and that if I cared about what other people thought of me failing, I probably would not have gone back to try again, and I would not have succeeded. I would have continued to fail. So whether or not you have the confidence to initially step out, I think can largely be attributed to, not 100%, but largely can be attributed to the fact that your relationship with failure is different than most. You don't fear it, rather you just see it as a stumbling block or a step in the right direction or a chance to correct. If I was afraid, of failure, I would not have gone to college. So there's always the possibility that you can fail in something. But really what helps you get over that failure, if you do, is understanding that it's not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. What other people think of my failure doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what I think of my failure. And I think it's a great learning curve. It's a great step in the right direction. And I can learn a lot and I can try again, or I can pivot and try something else. It's all about your mentality. And I think that is really one of the things that has helped me be successful in a lot of things that I've tried to do over the years. For example, my current and most recent job was door-to-door sales, and I was afraid. I was scared, but I figured that, if I could succeed in a glider's license, or I can succeed in college, then perhaps I can succeed in learning and getting over the failure of being terrible at the door and fumbling over my pitch and embarrassing myself in complete strangers at their doorstep. I figured that I could just get over it and that I would fail, but that I would learn from it, and eventually I would harden up to the point where it wasn't a big deal. And that's exactly what happened. I failed. I stumbled over my pitch. I stuttered. I stared people blankly in the face right on their doorstep. I made a complete fool out of myself several times, on many occasions. Can't even count how many times I failed to give a good pitch and made a complete fool out of myself. But every single time I do that, I got stronger, and it became less and less relevant. And all of that gave me the confidence to eventually, give a good pitch and have the belief that, yes, I am good at this and I can do it. And that gives me the extra boost and extra push I need to give a great pitch and get the sale. And so a lot of times, yes, your experience and your ability to get over failure amplifies your confidence because you've done it already. You know what it's like, and it's like, it's not a big deal. I'll just do the next one, do it again, do it again, do it again, and eventually you're really, really confident in what you're doing, and that confidence comes across with the other person and makes it more likely that they will hire you, buy from you, invest with you, whatever it is you want. And the confidence is the key, but it doesn't start with the money. It starts with the confidence. The money comes after you've been being confident and failing and working hard to build up your skills over time. And then it just keeps perpetuating in a circle. So I hope that helps. I really hope this has made sense to you guys. And you want to ask me some questions in the YouTube comments down below, please feel free to do so. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. I will see you guys in the next podcast. Cheers.